hello, Bullrun community. Hello, everybody. Greetings to you all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuned in from. Today we have another beautiful session that has started. So I guess with all the viewers that are here and those who are going to be here later, you're going to enjoy, and you're also going to learn one or two things from what you're going to share with you today. My name is Debbie. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we have a beautiful topic that is going to be helping us with certain areas of our lives. So we're going to talk about stress and your physical health. I have my beautiful Queen Jane. Queen Jane, you can just greet our viewers for now.
Hello, Bullrun family. Thank you so much for having me, Queen Debbie, and I am excited at what we are going to discover today in this topic. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Queen Jane. So community, we have a beautiful Queen Jane. She's from Kenya, Nairobi, precise. She's a mother, a pastor, a therapy, a family and marriage and family therapist as usual. Also, she's an author. So today we are going to discuss this topic that we titled stress and physical health, and she's going to guide us through, and we are going to learn more from her. And as we go, we are going to come out, I think, stress free, and also know how to take care of ourselves. So, my queen, you can take it away from here.
Thank you so much, Queen Debbie. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this topic, stress and your physical health. For me, as I talk about it, it has been my personal journey of discovery. So I am not talking about something that I have just read in books. I have experienced it physically, and I am talking from a place of experience. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I always am very grateful to be able to minister to people even through this kind of platform, and because we are talking about real life issues. So today we are going to talk about stress and how that stress interacts with the physical health of a person. So sometimes we might think that stress is just an emotion. It's something that comes from emotional issues, and that is the end. But beyond that, how does stress affect a person? Why is it important for us to look at this? Because we are living in a world where stress surrounds us. Every day we have things that are causing us stress. Now, if you look at us, we are in the Bullrun ecosystem. And people have been going through a lot of stress as they wait they have an expectation of something that is not happening. So you can imagine, okay, it's not happening right now, but it is expected to happen at a date that is not known. It's just a process of waiting. So in that process, there is a lot of stress that is generated because we are living in a world where money is scarce. We are living in a world where relationships have a problem. Be it at the workplace, in the family, we have issues that are affecting people in relationships, related to money, related to family relationships, marital relationships. So stress is all over. And probably this word is a word that has actually been used. You find it in the mouth of children, babies. No stress. They may not know anything about stress beyond just knowing the word, but it is a very common word. And probably what we need to ask ourselves today is, what is stress? What is stress? As we talk about it, we really understand exactly what it is. So we can simply say that stress is the body's natural response. I want to talk slowly today because somebody told me that I am using big words. I got a feedback that I am using big words and they might not understand. So I'll try to make it as simple as possible today. So stress is the body's natural response to pressure, threat, or demand. So let's break it down. Stress is the body's natural response. What does that mean? That each one of us, when we were created, there was something that was put in us. And that which was put in us was supposed to help us to respond to pressure or to threat or to something that is demanding, and we are able to deal with it. So, you know, if there is no stress, then it means anything goes. You can go through any type of experience without knowing. But stress helps you. It's a warning. It's a warning. Something dangerous is coming, or something that is going to cause you pressure. It's coming your way. So there is a way that naturally the human being is created to respond to a threat, which is either perceived, is something that I see in my mind and think this might be dangerous for me. So it might be perceived, or it might be real. So we say stress is a natural response to a threat which can either be real or imagined. Stress is a survival mechanism. It's just designed to protect us. So essentially, stress is not bad. We cannot say that stress is bad, because that is how we are wired. We are wired to either run away from the situation or to get the energy to be able to deal with that situation. So there is a biological process of dealing with it, and I don't want to go into the details, but I want to say that stress in itself is not the enemy. Stress is not bad. Stress in itself is not bad, and we shall see as we continue. Stress is not necessarily bad. There is good stress and there is bad stress. Now, stress only becomes a problem when it is what we call chronic, when it is consistently occurring day after day, day after day. You find that a person is going through stress Monday, Tuesday, one whole month, they are still in that stress exposure. That unmanaged stress is what actually becomes a problem. So naturally, when we are exposed to stress 1 day, 2 days, that is normal. It is a normal. There is a place where stress is normal, but there is also a place where stress becomes abnormal. So stress is not just what happens to you. It is not just the event. It is what your body carries when you do not release what happened. So stress can happen and it is processed and it is dealt with. But stress can become a burden when it happens, and then remains in the body and you carry it for years. Queen Deby, can I tell you that I have seen a person, in fact, not once. I have seen people, you see someone who is walking and they are bedding. If you look deeper in their lives, the shoulders, they become curved. And that person, if you went into their lives to check, you discover that they are carrying a load of stress that has been trapped in the body and it is not released. I have seen that, and I can tell you we need to talk about this. So that is my introduction about stress. I hope it is clear. You can take it up from there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Queen. I think it's clear, and it reminds me what you told me in the morning. You told me, Queen Deby, you have stress. And I was like, how can you say I'm stressed? Yeah, but you know what? We are learning, because some of the things we don't even know. Sometimes we carry too much stress, yet you are unaware that you are actually stressed. So I'm enjoying the topic so far. I think we need to know why is it important to understand what stress is in our modern life.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very, very important. Very important. Thank you so much for that. Why stress becomes dangerous? You know, we need to know to understand about stress in our current world, because our bodies are designed for short bursts of danger. So, for instance, if I come to where you are not aware where that I am coming to you, you know, and I just surprise you. you'll get stressed. Your adrenaline will shoot. And then there's a hormone we call cortisol. It will be produced in your system because you are not expecting that. Now, that is a short outburst of stress because of the event that has happened. But you see, in our modern life, we have stressors left, right, and center. Emotions. We have emotional stress. And you know what? It can be caused by anything. You know, people who watch TV, incidentally, I rarely watch news. I don't know whether you have news in your place, but we have news sort of, even if you go to Al Jazeera, you find news. So these days, it's like every time you get news, it is sad news. Its emotions are being, stirred all the time. So you find that people are struggling with a lot of emotional issues, thoughts, psychological issues. You come to the relationships, even in families, a brother and a sister, they are not agreeing. It's stressful. There are people who live in families and they experience rejection. Relationships in families, marital relationships, they are actually people who are living in the same house, they are married, but they live in different rooms. They are housemates, they are not married. They are already separated or divorced, but they're living in the same house. So we have a lot of causes of stress. You can find child-parent relationship is a problem. Sometimes probably because of the things that children are doing or not doing. And it causes the parents stress. It can cause conflict between a well-meaning husband and wife. It can cause a lot of stress to a single parent, and a single parent can also be stressed and then they affect their child. So all these workplace relationships, when people are stressed at home, they'll carry that in the workplace. So you'll find that it's a circular thing. Now we can even narrow it down to our ecosystem. We are dealing with things that are, today they are up, tomorrow they are down. And that can generate a lot of stress. For someone whose expectations are not being met, they can actually get very stressed. And now we also are living in a digital era. People are having to use the digital, these gadgets that we are using, the phones, the laptops, there are so much that people are doing online. And let me tell you, there is a lot of stress. I think we can even talk about the digital overload on its own. People are overloaded. Our eyes don't rest. Most people's eyes are on the screens for the longest time. And these gadgets also tell us when you take a lot of time on your screen, there is a way that you get a report. You can see some people get to stay on the digital space a long time, and that's generating stress. Now, talk about politics. Talk about politics of the day. I don't know whether in your place you have politics like in our place. Even when we have finished elections, the following day we start politics. And people talk negative things, positive things. I was talking to some people. I had traveled the day before yesterday, and I was asking the driver of the vehicle I was using, because I was using public means. I was asking, when is it that you ever learn to see something positive in your country? People are murmuring, they are complaining. And what is that doing to them? It is releasing stress hormones. So we need an awareness. The reason why we need to talk about this topic is because we need an awareness. We need to know what is happening around us so that we don't just participate, but we take a step backwards and do what? Self-care. Self-care. So instead of running from a lion today, instead of running away from, in our place, there was an outbreak of hyenas. They were eating children in the morning when they were going to school. So instead of dealing with such animals, hyenas and lions, today we are dealing with a different form of stress. Traffic jams. Talk about traffic jams. Talk about financial problems, talk about relationship problems, cortisol levels are increased. And if you look at even the rates at which people are getting sick, people keep on asking, how come these things never used to be there years ago? Now there is a multiplication of things, of illnesses that have come. Where are they coming from? Probably they are related to stress. Yes.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, my queen, and to make us understand the importance of understanding this modern life about what stress can do to us and which kind of stress is also, and you touched a lot about that, and we are learning. It's really good because these are things that is manageable. You talk about we need to manage it. They are manageable. We need to harness. Sometimes it's just a harnessing of our emotions and regulates the stress level, because I think because of this stress, we are facing a lot because of it. And some of the things that we are actually sick of, you're talking about sickness, it's because of stress. So they are manageable if we can come to a point that we can manage that. That's what I think we have to come into. So are there any different types of stress or that can a person experience?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, maybe you can touch.
Yeah. Sorry?
I said maybe you can touch on that. Yeah.
Okay. So there are different types of stress. And I want to start with a good one so that we don't get scared. So I said basically stress is not bad. Stress is not in itself, it's not bad. And our systems were created to respond to any perceived or real danger. We were made and prepared for a reaction that will help us to protect ourselves. So there is good stress. And the first type of stress that I want to talk about is eustress. It's called eustress. So if someone wants to take notes, they can do that. Eustress. No, eustress is as a motivating stress. For instance, when I was a student, one of the things that I always used to do is when I start the term, when I start the semester, I want to look at the course outline and I motivate myself that after going through that course outline, I give myself a goal. So I have a goal. My goal is getting an A in that subject. So that will motivate me to keep pushing until I get to the exam and I finish. I know in my mind this is what I've done. So we have good stress, and that is what keeps us going. It's what motivates us to live. It's what motivates you to wake up in the morning. So for instance, you can get stressed starting a new business. You have not been there before. You don't know how it is going to be. You're investing money and you don't know how it's going to be. And by the way, that can be very stressful. The fear of the unknown. When one is getting married, when you get a promotion and you don't know how that is going to be. So there is always that fear and a little stress involved. But that is called eustress. That helps growth when balanced. So when you experience eustress and you are able to balance it, then you are able to get growth. Now, the next kind of stress is called environmental stress. Now, experiments have been done, and I use a beanstalk. When you plant a bean, and then next to that bean, you keep on playing loud music, the stem grows away from the noise. It grows away from the noise. So if it was supposed to go straight, you'll find that it is bending away from the noise. So why? Because noisy environments are stressful. One time I was going for a burial somewhere in one of our counties. And so I drove and I went and spent the night in the nearest town. So I spent the night in the nearest town, and where I got an Airbnb, and I got a nice room. But unfortunately, I didn't know at night there was a lot of noise. I couldn't sleep, and I felt very frustrated. That was stressful. So you can imagine someone who stays in a noisy environment day in, day out. There are people who live in estates or environments that are very noisy, maybe next to a club, next to something else which is producing noise. That can be very stressful. And they may live there, they may not know, but with time, their bodies will start responding. The bodies will start wanting to release that stress. So you'll find people are getting some kind of problems, physical problems. So then we have acute stress. Acute stress is a short-term kind of stress. And for example, an argument, when people get into an argument, it can be acute. It is a short term. Or when someone has a work deadline to finish, or when they are facing an exam, or sometimes like when our roads had not been expanded, we would stay in the traffic jam for a long time. So those are things that can cause acute stress. And when you are in acute stress, then the symptoms of stress can happen, but then they disappear once the situation is settled. So it's not something that will take a long time, but the situation changes, then the symptoms also disappear. So this one is healthy in small doses. It's not bad. It's not good to just, like the way we are raising babies. I don't know whether it's happening in your place, but these days we are raising our babies by protecting them. So when they go into the world, they don't know how to deal with the stress in the world. And you see, a baby is naturally created to be born through the natural process so that they can process the trauma of being born. To be born is traumatic, by the way, Debbie, because they have to pass through the birth canal and fight their way into the world. So that is good stress for that baby, because they will come into the world and learn the world is not a good place. I have to fight for myself. But sometimes too much protection will cause that child not to be able to fight for themselves. So a little stress, a little acute stress is also good. It's not very bad. It's also good. And it is good because you will learn to survive those. Like if it's an exam, you learn to go through exams. You learn to deal with deadlines. Those are positive things. It's good pressure, but in small doses. Then we have the next type of stress, which is called episodic acute stress. Episodic acute stress. This one is frequent acute stress. So we had acute stress, but now this one is episodic. It happens from time to time. It's frequent. And it's like, for instance, always rushing, overwhelmed, reactive. For instance, let me give an example. A person can expose themselves to episodic acute stress. If you, for instance, you are working in the city, and I think most cities are like what I'm going to describe. You leave your home late, for work, then you get into the jam, and then you realize that you can't get to work on time. So that is a lot of stress before you get to the office. And maybe you get to the office and find that the boss is mad at you. And this doesn't happen it doesn't happen. It happens regularly. Maybe on Monday it happens. On Wednesday it happens. On Thursday it happens. On Friday it happens. So this is frequent. And the person is exposing themselves to acute stress, repeating the same pattern. So always rushing, always overwhelmed, always reactive, often in high pressure personalities. So this one we'll find in high pressure personalities that we can discuss when we are dealing with personalities. But that is a kind of a scenario that you can find in a person who who operates in high pressure. Now, the last one, and this is what I want to tie to the next thing that we are going to discuss, is called chronic stress. Chronic stress. So this is long-term stress that does not resolve. Long-term stress that does not resolve. Let's create a scenario here so that we can have a clear understanding. Let's create a scenario. I want to use marital conflict. Let me use marital conflict. There are many examples that I'll give, but let me use the example of marital conflict. Now, this couple, they live together in a certain setting in Africa. And the husband is working and the wife is not working. Let's just create a scenario. So this man goes to work. He expects the wife to take care of the family. She's not working. So he will put pressure on the wife to perform by taking care of the kids. She will have pressure. She doesn't get enough money even to spend on herself. She'll get burnout. This woman will get burnout because she has to do all the house chores on her own. Assume that she has 5 children. She has to take care of the children. Probably she also has other side things that she has to do. There are cows, there are goats, there are what. This woman is actually stressed. And this pattern of work is not something she's doing every day. Add to it, this man will come home and still insult this woman. So she lives in an environment of stress. She has financial challenges. She has marital conflicts with the husband. She is not able to work peacefully. She is burnout. She is experiencing burnout. And maybe she is also going through trauma because she doesn't know when this will ever end. The emotional wood is growing day by day. So this is chronic stress. Chronic stress. A person living in an environment where they are not seeing a change happening tomorrow. There is no reprieve for the struggles they have. And this chronic stress is the most dangerous. This is the most dangerous type of stress in relation to the physical health of a person. So unless we understand the different forms of stress that we are dealing with, then it may also be difficult to deal with stress. So it's good to know there is eustress. It's good to know there is environmental stress, there is chronic stress, there is episodic and chronic stress, and there is also there is episodic. We call it episodic acute stress, but the last one and the most critical to deal with is chronic stress. Over to you, Queen Deby, for any comments.
Thank you, my queen. Yeah, all those stresses we might also have them as investors in cryptocurrency. You just talk
Yes.
about the marriage setup, but we also have them in our industry because this market is very volatile, and while it's volatile, we intend to have people who can just become stressful. They can be stressed because of what's happening in the market, how it's happening. End up having a lot of high loads on what they think emotionally, mood swings, all those things. They'll be just loaded on them, and it brings maybe the chronic stress also as time goes on, because some of us have been here for such a long time. If you don't know how to manage this industry, you can end up having stress because your needs are not met. Your needs are not met, and all this you are waiting, your needs are not met, and now you are stressed because I was expecting school fees, I was expecting this, I was expecting this. So we need also to understand how we can deal with that, or at least we are in such an industry also. So that was really good. Thank you for also telling us different types of stress that we have. And that is going to also take us to, does stress affect our physical body, and or just a mental well-being?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you for that very, very critical question. Sometimes we may go through stressful experiences and think that it's just an emotional thing, but there is a very, very deep connection between the stress levels and the physical well-being. So stress is not just in the mind. It's not just in your mind. It is a whole body experience. Imagine, it's a whole body experience. That's why it's very important to know what it is so that you can be able to control it. It's not just in the mind, it's a whole body experience. So we call it psychosomatic connection. I am using a big word and I want to break it down. I told you I was given a feedback that they are big names, but we want to break them down and let's all be on the same page. So psycho is the mind, somatic is the body. So there is a connection between the body and the mind. There is a very, very big connection. So when chronic stress happens, it gets trapped in the body if it is not resolved. You know, chronic stress, you're exposed to chronic stress and you're not resolving, the stress. It's not getting, yes, a resolution. I will tell you, the solution. You know, the solution is when I get chronic stress, I am able to cry. I release the tension in my body. Or I'm able to scream, or I'm able to dance. There are some people who go to the bathroom and they take a shower and they get better. If you are doing nothing about your stress levels, then that stress gets trapped in your body. It stays inside your body. It doesn't go anywhere. So it's not something that flies in the air. No, you get stressed, you don't resolve, it gets trapped in the body. So it manifests in various ways in your physical body. The language of pain is the language of stress trapped in the body as it seeks expression. So you'll find that someone who has been exposed to chronic stress is going through some things, some pains. You hear, I have joint pain, I have a headache, I have a backache, whatever pain. I can tell you the stress in the body must seek expression. It seeks expression and it has to get a way of going out. You know, it's possible for you to know a person with stress. There's some people whose skins, just the face, will tell you that person is going through some stress because the skin becomes, it has a lot of pimples and you can see that person is not relaxed. You can see there is something that is bothering them. So stress will seek expression. One time I went through a very prolonged period of stress. I was caregiving for my mother-in-law. And 1 year into the caregiving, I developed a skin condition. And I was seeing a very good physician. The person who was seeing my mother-in-law was a physician. So one time I just made a decision to go and see because my skin had just developed scales from the neck down. And he looked at it and he treated it as fungal. But the thing was not fungal. 8 months from the time I started that treatment, I was still having issues with my skin. So the upper body and the thighs, I mean, I got healed. But the problem went to the feet because the stress was not resolved. My feet developed wounds as the stress is looking for a way of exiting my system. I ended up being admitted in hospital because of that stress. So stress must seek expression one way or another. It must seek expression. So when it is not given that expression, then we will have physical pains. We'll have problems. The body, the physical body is what where the stress is trapped. And when it stays inside, it must look for a way of exiting. Like I've told you about my skin. In fact, when I have an issue that is bothering me, you can see it on my skin. And there are many people like that. You will see, I have a niece who has the same issue. I know when she's relaxed, but I know when she's struggling with something, because the skin can tell. So bottom line here is, when one becomes stressed, the relationship between stress and the physical body is that the body is going to carry that stress and look for a way of releasing it from the system. And when it is not released, it continues to be trapped. Then we shall see we have many ways in which the stress finds expression through your physical body. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Queen, for allowing us to understand that there is these two are just the same. You know, it's not just one thing that when you have stress, your body will be fine. Your body is also affected, because it also affects the nervous system. Because one, already the nervous system, they register that something is not right in the body. You know, all those things, immune system of the person, as you're saying, like your own, you realize that you have problems with your, maybe your skin and all that. So we need to understand how to deal with it, and how to also to let it out. How do we let it out before it damages us? And we end up having chronic diseases, BP, high blood pressure, all those things. They are things that are activated through stress, hormonal imbalance, having the such stress and chronic stresses that are actually found in this life. You know, we have a lot of things happening around, especially when it comes to women. We have a lot, you know, we have a lot. You know, just taking care of the family can also stress you. Just being a wife can just stress you. Just being a sister, it can stress you. Why? Because with this we are the mothers, we are the, yeah, sometimes, yes, men, they also face stress because of they want to provide, they want to make things right, they want to just provide for the family. And why I said women, because we are talking about, we have survivor, the survivor coin here. That's why I emphasize about women. And today we also talk about stress. I know 99% of our queen's problem is money. Because you want to take care of your children, you want to take care of your home, you also want to help that king, you also want to help your husband, but you don't have enough. And what caused that? It will cause you stress. And due to stress, now you are not able to function well as a mother, or as a sister, as a figure on the house, a bigger figure in the house, because mothers are the icon of the houses, if you can talk about that. So this alone, as the stress, can also hinder them from functioning well, from producing the best results. So, my queen, how does stress show up in our physical body?
Wow. Thank you, Queen Debbie. And it's also very good to mention, I don't know how, but in the years of practice, I haven't had someone coming for therapy because they don't have money. Incidentally, I have never had someone coming for therapy because they don't have money. The very major thing that makes people not to agree or to come for therapy is relationships. Over the years, almost 20 years now, I have not had someone come to therapy because they don't have money. But that does not mean that money doesn't play a very important place in the lives of people. Maybe my relationships may not be working, but in the background, there is a money issue. And it is good for women to invest in something that can give them money, so that if one of these manifestations is what is causing stress, then they can be able to deal with it. It is possible to deal with that issue. And I like the way you put it. Some problems can be solved with money. That's what Queen Debbie says. Some problems can be solved with money. So, for instance, if you needed to move from point A to point B to see a friend, so that you can release stress. You don't have a shedding. You're just going to be caught up in that space without. So let's look at how we deal, how stress shows up in the physical body. How, before we look at how we deal with it, we understand how it manifests. So stress always leaves physical footprints. Where stress passes, you will find the footprints of stress. You'll find something it has done. So stress doesn't just come and pass. It has to leave some footprints. Like when we meet with you in Debbie, I'll show you what that season of stress did to me. I have scars. So there are some footprints. And one of the places where stress will show up is the head and the brain. The head and the brain. I would like to establish through scientific studies the relationship between stress and dementia. Dementia, I hope you understand dementia. Dementia is where the brain, somebody develops forgetfulness and, it becomes gradual. But stress, when we have chronic stress in a person, these are people who experience headaches, migraines. That's a headache that comes on one side of the head. Very painful, very, very painful. You can experience brain fog. No, the mind is not clear. The brain feels like, you don't remember anything. That's the time you are holding a knife and then you're asking, who has taken the knife? And yet you are the one who is holding the knife. Brain fog. Memory problems. That's why we are talking about dementia. Memory problems. Sleep problems. When you have chronic stress, those are the ways in which your head and your brain will be affected. Headaches, migraines, brain fog, memory problems, and lack of sleep, or insomnia. Lack of sleep. That's a big name. Insomnia is lack of sleep. So that is one area. Then you find this cardiovascular system. That's the things related to the heart. A rapid heartbeat. I can tell you, this is a very common thing. One time I came across someone who had gone through this rapid heartbeat. She had gone through a lot of stress from her family of origin, into her marriage, into raising children. There was a lot of stress. There were things that were happening. And then when she worked for all the years, then when she retired, now you see the body has registered that now you are in a season of resting. So she developed problems, a rapid heartbeat, and sometimes she would become unconscious and she would be rushed to hospital. They check everything, nothing, no problem, until she ended up in the therapy room. And that is how we treated the rapid heartbeat. So you can find somebody getting cardiovascular problems, high blood pressure, as you had mentioned. And rapid heartbeat will also combine with chest tightness. That is a problem of stress. Then we have, cardiovascular system. Long-term exposure to stress will cause increased heart disease risk. So when a person stays in and exposed to chronic stress, then finally we'll end up having heart issues. And by the way, just to mention that you'll find these problems like cardiovascular problems, they are very common with people in midlife. Probably they have grown and not learned how to deal with chronic stress. And so you'll find so many people in midlife. That's when you start hearing somebody saying they are taking medicine. Medicine for what? For some of these conditions, heart problems. They are taking medication because there is a time in their life when they were exposed to chronic stress from the workplace. I don't know, retirement is coming. I don't know, school fees. Children are giving them problems and they have stress from all over the place. And it's not a one-day thing. They end up having cardiovascular problems. Muscles and joint pains. Queen Debbie, there is a drug, I don't know whether it's in your country, but it is MR. I'm not in medicine. I just know it because I've used it. MR. MR is muscle relaxant. In fact, I used to wonder, what is MR? MR is a muscle relaxant. You find somebody has neck pain, shoulder tension. Do you know someone who this morning was talking about shoulder tension? Neck pain, shoulder tension, they have back pain, they have body stiffness. And then when you go to a doctor, they'll give you MR, muscle relaxant. That's what they'll give you. And you know what is causing stress? All that? It is stress. Because stress causes muscle tension. And by the way, you will find many people talking about back pain. Because when there is stress, the muscles around the backbone become tense. So they press on the nerves. And that is how somebody becomes, sick, and they will go to a doctor and they'll be given MR. My friend, stress causes muscles and joint tensions. You'll find there is a certain age, somebody starts talking about joint pains, and they are talking about joint pains because stress is actually seeking expression through the joints. That pain, if they deal with a stressful situation, do you know, you'll be amazed at how well they will be. Digestive system, it also gets affected by stress. Well, this one, 2015, we were traveling somewhere. We were actually going to Dubai. And I was wondering, before we left, I was wondering, what shall I eat in a foreign country? Because I suffered acid reflux and I didn't know what it was. I had acid reflux. I had problems with my digestive system, and they suddenly just erupted. And if you find people struggling with acid reflux or constipation or diarrhea or loss of appetite or vomiting, there is a drug that the doctors prescribe. And they take it in a dose. They are told that they have it's called H. pylori. Someone will have acid reflux and then these problems of the stomach, and they are caused by stress. And then they go to the doctor and they are given H. pylori. They take the whole dose. But if you look at their lives, if they were able to identify what is causing them stress, then they can be able to deal with these problems. Because naturally, the human body is created to heal itself. It's not supposed to be helped. It's supposed to be to heal itself. Yes, but that does not mean somebody should not see a doctor. Go see a doctor and confirm. But naturally, the physical body is created to heal itself. So if it doesn't have those stressful things, then it will just work on itself to clear the acidity, to clear it. There is alkalinity and acidity that when they balance. But when you are stressed, the acid levels go high, and that's the reason why you'll find so many of these problems. So then we have the hormonal. You had mentioned this, hormonal and reproductive health. You find stress can affect the monthly periods. The periods can become irregular. The cycles can be very, very painful. And I am curious also about conditions like one which is very common and it affects very, very many women, endometriosis. It's a condition that affects very, very many women, and it is very painful. I would love to know what research says about such a condition. But in my view, I don't think stress can be far from relating with this condition. And fertility challenges, those are also problems that are affected, because I learned that when acidity becomes high, so many things in the body will go wrong. And acidity is the environment in which diseases grow. So if one can be able to manage stress, then it means they are able to manage even these challenges. And by the way, Queen Deby, for men, stress can cause low libido. Stress can cause erectile dysfunction, erectile challenges. So we can see that stress does not only affect the women, it is every man, every woman. When they are exposed to stress, I'd mentioned something about the skin. Stress looking for expression through the skin. We have acne, we have eczema. Like that time I was telling you that I had issues with my skin. It was first diagnosed as eczema. You have hair loss. Hair loss is also a result of what? Stress. And finally, we have energy levels. People feel they don't have the energy. There is no energy to do something because someone is exposed to chronic fatigue. There is burnout. There is also adrenal exhaustion. Somebody is just stressed throughout. They have chronic stress fatigue. They are suffering from fatigue. So every time you see them, they are tired. And you can see even a very young person who is just struggling with fatigue. And you don't understand why. You relate their age, and then you think that they are pretending. But there is a problem if they are exposed to excessive stress. So I hope you can see that the whole person can be affected. The whole physical being can be affected. If we talk about the head, we talk about the heart, we talk about muscles, we talk about digestive problem, we talk about hormonal and reproductive health, we talk about the skin, energy levels. That is the whole human being that is affected by stress. So stress can manifest in different ways, as we have seen. And I will pause as I give you an opportunity to make your comment.
Yeah, thank you so much, my queen. And this is actually it's a critical thing, and sometimes we don't take it serious because maybe we don't understand, and we need to understand how to deal with stress because of stress we invite a lot of a lot of diseases.
Mhm.
Ulcers they also caused by stress. Ulcers,
Mhm.
even the acid you're talking about, and nowadays acids are too, especially in my country, a lot of people have acid. It's, of course, it might be the food that we're eating, but also stress levels can also cause and trigger all this. So if we know how to regulate and how to balance stress, and also how to deal with stress, it's going to help us a lot, especially on our physical bodies. It's going to help us how to we can also be able to have a healthy body, and also how we can be able to harness our emotions, because out of it, it's a cause of problems, diseases. So thank you for that, my queen. And is it possible to live a healthy life despite living in stressful things that are surrounding us?
Mhm. Thank you, Queen Debbie. Living a healthy life is a choice. It is actually a choice. You cannot always remove stress. Stress will always be there. But you can regulate your response. Yesterday I had a date with my son. My son had called me and he told me, "Mommy, I want to buy you coffee." And so when we finished, he told me, "Can I drop you back home?" I said yes. And he drove me back home. But then he's he putting the lights. I told him, "My son, you don't need to do this. You don't need to, just relax on the road. Just take care of yourself on the road, because you can imagine if everybody went doing that. Stress is all over. Careless drivers will be on the road. So if you are driving, do you want to just grow mad, stress yourself? I think what we need to do is to develop an awareness that we need to take care of ourselves, and also to take some extra steps to be healthy. Because stress will always be where we are. We will find stress in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. But you are the one who makes the choice on how you respond. Respond is healthy, react is negative. So if I react, I'll be causing my adrenaline to go higher. But if I respond, I am taking charge of the experience. So what are some of the things we can do to regulate the nervous system every day? What are some of the things you can do when you find yourself in a stressful situation? Number one, you can breathe. You can do breathing exercises. Breathe in, you can breathe in, you count 4. You hold 7 seconds. You breathe out. You can breathe in it. We don't necessarily even have a pattern that you have to follow. These are things that are theoretical, but you can breathe in, you hold, and you breathe out slowly. That calms the nervous system. It calms the nervous system. So number 2, what you can do to deal with stress is movement. You can walk. Walking, you don't need fuel, you just need to know the direction you are going. Take a walk. Or just lie down somewhere. Like those people who have back problems, stretching is very important. Stretching is very good. So you can learn how to stretch. There are different ways you can stretch, and then you find that the muscles are relaxing. If you love dancing, you can dance. It is going to relieve stress. Dance. I remember one morning, I just woke up, and after finishing my prayer time, I put on loud music and I danced. I closed the door and I danced alone like a mad woman. And it's good because it will help settle the nervous system. You release your stress. Or you can enroll in a gym. If you want, you can enroll in a gym. You get strength training. You can get training from a specialized person. So movement metabolizes stress hormones. Movement swallows the stress hormone. So you get yourself moving, move, and get to dissolve the stress. Number 3, sleep protection. Now, remember we talked about something about the digital era, the how people are on these platforms for long hours. Now, how do you deal with stress so that you don't overdo the being on the digital space and then you compromise your sleep? I tell people that 10 o'clock is my biological clock. 10 o'clock. 9:30, my biological clock will start ticking. So I know I am ready to go to sleep. In fact, wherever I can be, I know my time is to sleep is nearing. When 9:30, 9:40, I start yawning and start feeling sleepy. My system is shutting down. So consistent sleep schedule is very important. No screens 1 hour before bed. Dark, cool room. So just create an environment for yourself where you can rest physically. You can help the body to shut down and sleep, so that the sleep resets the stress hormone, cortisol. When you sleep, you reset the stress hormone, and then you can start again the following day. Then the very important part you have mentioned something about this one is nutrition. I don't want to say much, but maybe I can just mention in passing that human beings were created to be sustained by everything that comes from the soil in its wholeness, not processed. So we find that stress levels are increasing because we are not eating real food. That one is a lesson for another day. Real food. So we need to eat real food, not processed foods. The body gets shocked when you give it processed foods. So we need natural food, which comes from the soil. Your body is a heap of soil. So it needs to be sustained by the nutrients that come from the soil. So foods which are rich in protein, foods which are not processed or refined and sugar added, foods which are whole, then a lot of water, and making sure that you balance your diet. So balanced blood sugar reduces stress reactivity. So you see the kind of foods that people can eat can shoot the blood sugar. And then that will also increase the levels of anxiety, or of stress, sorry. of stress. So emotional processing, how does one deal with the things that are bothering them? We are living in a world that is very busy, very, very busy. And you'll find that somebody is going through their problem alone. So they have a lot of unprocessed emotions which are stored. And when those unprocessed emotions are stored, they are called stress. They equals to stored stress. So how can somebody deal with this? Maybe even at a personal level. Journaling. I want to show you my journal. I have a journal. I don't know. I think I've left it very far. So I have a journal. So if there are things that come into my mind and I feel like I want to express them and there's no one, I just write them down. I write my story down. I might not even read it, but I just write it. I write and I remove what is pressing me inside onto paper. So journaling is very important. We live in Africa, and I thank God we live in Africa. You can also get safe conversations. If we meet with Queen Deby and another friend, we can have our conversations, talk about ourselves, share about our challenges. We may not necessarily even be saying that I'm the one who is going through this, but there's a way that we just talk stories, and it becomes like group therapy. So where is that you can go and have a safe conversation with another person? Or go for therapy. Go and check in a therapist office and say, this is what I want. I need help. I need help to be able to deal with these challenges. So just like you can get sick and go to a doctor, it's also very important you can go for therapy. And finally, spirituality is very important in helping someone deal with emotional issues. So you can engage in prayer. You can engage in meditation. If this is something that can work for you, you can engage in. Yes, you can draw from your spirituality. So you can draw strength from your spirituality the way you practice it. And the last one, and not the least, is create boundaries. When you have a situation where you are going through chronic stress, then you need to review your boundaries, because you can only allow in so much. There is so much that you can allow that can cause you to break. So evaluate your boundaries. Now, we have either permeable boundaries that or allow anything to come in, or we have rigid. We have boundaries that are, firm. So create boundaries. You can say no when necessary. You can reduce exposure to toxic environments and limit news and social media. Incidentally, when we were building our house, I said, because I was raising boys, I said, I don't want the TV in the TV room. And fortunately, the part that was being done is the garage. It failed to accommodate the car, the biggest car that we had then. And so the person who was building the house called me and asked me, how should we deal with this? I told him, just close the wall quickly and put a window. Just let me have an extra room. And I knew that room, when it's done, is where I'm going to put those machines that are making noise. So when somebody is there, you can only get noise from the outside. You cannot get to hear the noise when you're inside. They can play their music and I am outside. So those are boundaries, limits. Let's have boundaries. What do you want to accommodate? What do you want to leave out? I did not want to imagine a place where I'm staying and somebody comes, they put this music. I cannot sit in that house comfortably, and relax. So I say no to what you don't want. You know what works for you. Say no to what is not working for you. Reduce exposure to toxic environments. So there are places that you interact with, or there are people you interact with or environments that you interact with that are not healthy, just reduce the exposure. You can put boundaries around that. You can limit how much news, how much social media you get involved in. Do you know there are some people who are so disciplined? In fact, I came across a certain lady from the UK one time. We were doing a training somewhere in Uganda, and I was shocked. She told me emails and any of those media things don't control her, and she will not open the emails or anything until the time that is set. I've also met another person who is a professor in one of our universities. He's a family friend, and he doesn't go into the social media to WhatsApp and what have you until a set time during the day. So you can do the same. Create a space where you are not, entangled by so many things. I think if we follow those and any other that can work in your personal life, we can be able to help ourselves deal with stress. And especially the breath work, it's something that you can afford to sit down. Movement. Instead of using your car, you can walk to wherever you are going. By the way, Queen Debbie, I'm enjoying walking these days. It's very, very nice. So you can stretch. Stretching is not something that you need to pay for. You can do it in your house. You can, like sometimes I involve my granddaughter. We just dance. Yeah, we do the exercise, and she doesn't know what we are doing, but how she thinks it's time with grandma, but I am actually exercising. So let's be free to deal with to release, do something to release the stress out of our systems for better physical health, well-being. Yes, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, my queen, for allowing us to have some ways of how we can deal with it and how we can manage it. We can't, there's one thing that we can't avoid as human beings. Stress is going to come one way or the other, be it from the workplace, be it from our own houses, be it from losing a mother or a father. Stress, they're going to be there. It's going to be on our day-to-day lives. But what I want to say is, as we close, uh, if you want to take a break, as our queen say, take a break. Allow yourself to deal with it and have a clear mind. Then come back. Then also, let's allow ourselves to also, especially those who will be grieving, allow yourself to grieve. You don't grieve forever. Same applies when it comes to stress. You're not going to be stressed forever. Allow that moment to come and sit down with yourself. If you need help, as our queen has said, look for the people you can rely on, talk to them, let it out and all that. But if you face such a thing, let's grieve, let's face it. We are not going to avoid it. It's our day in our day in and day out environment. So we need to just face it, deal with it, and come out of it. We don't have to dwell in it, because the more we dwell in it, the more problems are going to be escalated now in our bodies. That is, the stress is going to cause more problems in our bodies. That's diseases and other things. So community, our queen has said it all. I don't want to say much. So with that, I always wanted to read our Friday. Always want to read the letter that was written to us by our Queen Mother, the letter that was written on our survivor token. Survivor token was built to honor women in different parts of the world. And it's not only for women, even the kings who are here, we honor you, and we also want you to know this part of the letter was written to queens, yes, but it can also directed to you also, because you are here today and you are a survivor. What are we surviving? Maybe you survive a stress that was going to take you to depression. Maybe you survive something that was going to destroy your immune system, but maybe something that was going to cause BP or whatever, but you survived. This is a letter for you. So let me just go through the letter as we round off. I'll come back to you, my queen, for your closing remarks. So it said this. The letter says, "Beautiful, brave, and determined woman. I call you beautiful because you are unique. You are a unique creation. Your beauty comes from within. I pray that you know that you are valuable and precious in a special way. I call you brave because you have gone through painful and unforgettable experiences that have left you with wounds both visible and invisible. Your bravery has helped you to fight off the seen and unseen giants long after they have done their worst. Dearest, beautiful, brave, and determined queen and king, I call you determined because of the secret tears, what you had to endure, the years, and the burning desire inside of you. I am super proud of you that you've managed to get here where you can thrive, explore, where you can be yourself and transform your sorrows into success. Always remember that you are valuable, you are worthy. Your worth can never be diminished as long as you continue to stand your ground, dearest, beautiful, brave, and determined queen and king. Promise yourself never to settle for less than your worth. And when you finally settle, be brave to fix your crown and start all over, queen and king. Choose daily to never give up upon yourself. Your story will empower others. Keep rising to any challenge that is thrown to you. Keep progressing. Discover your destiny. You are worthy. You are a queen. You are a king. You are a survivor. So after all this is said and done, you are a queen. You are a survivor. You are a king. Don't give up upon yourself. Raise above the stress, raise above everything that is happening to you right now. And your story will empower others. Your story, our queen was talking about how she went through a certain time of stress, but she's here, she's telling us because she overcame that. So whatever that you're going through right now, it will be a story to be told to somebody, to be inspiring other people, to be able to share with your friend or with somebody, to encourage them that what, stress is not going to kill you. You can go through it. Yes, it's not going to kill you. It's going to strengthen you. It's going to help you to come out of it. It's more like a blessing, because challenges are blessings. You grow. You know how to maneuver. You know how, okay, I'm facing this challenge. What should I do from here? That's how we become the people who are actually focusing on the destiny to overcome. So we have challenges as we go, we have stress as we go, but how can we go through it? We are not going to suffocate while we have stress. No, we are going to find solutions how we can do it. So Queen, back to you so that you can give, or maybe I should just read the comments and you give your final remarks.
Yes, that's okay.
Yes, on what? Right. I should read the comment section. Okay, thank you. So I'll come back to you after the comment section. So let me go through the comment section community. We have our king in the house, King Steve, our developer. As always, we are honored to see you here, King. Thank you so much for always showing up for us, and that means a lot. So he's saying, Happy Friday, Bullrun community. I am very much looking forward to today's session. Thank you, Queens Jane and Debbie, for all the effort, leadership, and consistency. You are beyond appreciated. Thank you so much, King Steve, for such a beautiful message, and we honor you also for also coming and just to show up on our sessions in your busy schedule. Thank you so much for that. We also have Queen Gloria. He's saying, waiting queens, I hope you take away something. We also have our beautiful Queen Mother in the house, also our developer. She always give us a room to fly, a room to stand. Thank you so much, Queen Mother, for always supporting us, also as women. She's saying greetings to our awesome queens and kings. I've been waiting for this session with excitement. A great leader is one of who serves others, not himself or herself. Thank you for saving us, queens. Thank you, mom. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes you need to you just need to think of others and also go out of the way just to save others, not yourself. Indeed, that was so powerful. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are not born for ourselves. If you're a leader, you're not born for yourself. You are born for people, whether you like it or not. You have to show up. It's not like Queen Jane does not have anything to do. Not like I don't have anything to do, but because we are leading others, we are supposed to be showing up at any given, either I want or either I don't want. That's the truth. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an amazing message. So we also have Queen Gloria. She's saying, I think she was saying, I'm learning. Queens, thank you so much, Queen Gloria. Queen Flora, she's saying, good evening, Queens. Good evening back to you, Queen Flora. We also have Queen Deporte. She's saying, this is powerful. Thanks, Queen Jane and Queen Debbie. Thank you so much, Queen Deporte. Hope you take away something from what we shared today. We also have our beautiful Queen Mother. She's also saying, this is so deep. Queen Jane, thank you so much for educating us on how to deal with stress. Stress is a major issue that many people deal with. I know our community is benefiting from these topics. Indeed, Mommy. Indeed.
No,
Thank
it's
you
all.
so much, ma'am, for such. Okay. We also have Queen Deporte saying, always enjoying educational sessions with Queen Jane. This is life changing indeed. Thank you so much, Queen Deporte. Thank you for also coming and also engaging with us today. Queen Salome, she's saying, learning more from you, Queens. Thank you so much, my Queen. We also have Queen Grace. She's saying, we are learning a lot, Queen Jane. Stress is a major thing in today's life for our young and old. Sure, you are right, my Queen. We also have Queen Beatrice. She's also saying, hello, Queen Debbie and Queen Jane. Thank you for enlightening us on causes and how we can avoid stress, which is affecting a lot of people. This session is very informative. Thank you so much, my Queen. Queen Barbara, she's saying, greetings to you, all Bullrun community. A big thanks to Queen Debbie and Queen Jane for a wonderful session. Thank you so much, Queen Barbara. We also have Queen Spiwe. She's saying, I am learning a lot. Thank you, Queens. Thank you so much, Queen Spiwe. We also have Queen Deporte. She's saying, wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Queen Jane. Thank you so much, Queen Deporte. You are welcome. So that was it for today, my queens and kings. Thank you for tuning in today. We also have, oh God. Okay, we also have King Ernest. I think I just saw this. King Ernest is in the house. Thank you so much, King Ernest. He's saying, thank you so much, my esteemed queens, Debbie and Jane, for yet another session. We thank God for you, my queens, because you are God given. Thank you so much, King Ernest. You are also God given. I also see you in every community event. You're always here. You're always available. Thank you so much, King. Also, we also have Queen Beatrice again. Thank you, Queen Jane. I have learned a lot, especially on how to manage stress. Thank you so much, my Queen. You're welcome, and we thank you so much because you learn one or two things. These are good things. Also, we are not going just talking about money. Even if I told my king that money resolves some of the stress, yeah, it does. You can travel, you can go to waters and just put your legs in water and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You can
Yeah,
just drive and you'll be fine. So you need money. You need money, you know. You can go shopping, you'll be fine, you know. So yeah,
yeah, but
we are not going to talk about only money. We are not going to talk
yes,
about only money, and we are here to help each other. You know, we are from different countries, and we don't know what Queen Jane, Queen Beatrice, Queen our Queen Mother, Queen Grace, Queen Salome, what's happening in their life. So when we bring these such topics, it's something that you can also relate, as we also build each other financially, and we want to enjoy this money together. So we need to be sound, we need to be healthy so that we can enjoy this money together. It will be very good to see each other, you know, one day, and we gather and have beautiful time together and enjoy it. All
yes.
this you are not sick, all this you are strong, all this you are fit. So that's it. So back to you, my queen. You can give us your closing remarks.
Thank you so much, good Debbie. I want to tell you that money will be there. It will come, and we'll have to enjoy it. But we need to be healthy. We need to be healthy, and the things that are causing us to be unhealthy are mostly in our interactions. I can tell you that is given. That's given in mental health. But we cannot enjoy the money when we do not have soundness of body and soul and spirit. We need to be whole. So as we end this session, maybe an emphasis on the fact that we are in the Bullrun community, and in the Bullrun community we have an ecosystem that is helping us do uh, some investments that can help us to change our lives. And on this ecosystem, we have 3 tokens. You can get any of the 3 tokens. We have Survivor, which is, as Debbie has said, is specifically for women. We have Killer Whale, and we have the BRL. You can purchase any of them, and you can be guided on how you are going to purchase. And you can also it's an investment that will change your life in the future. As for me, I came into this space because I was looking for a retirement plan, and I am happy I got my retirement plan. We don't advise people to do anything financial. We are just giving information that will help us to improve our lives in the future. Having said that, I would want to give my closing remarks in way of questions. I want to leave you with questions. So we have talked about stress and how stress expresses itself in the body. So the question is, the first question I would want to throw to you as we come to an end is, where do you feel stress in your body? Where do you feel stress in your body? Where is it lodged? Where do you feel the stress? You can be able to answer that for yourself. Is your stress acute or chronic? Based on our discussion today, is your stress chronic or acute or chronic? You can also be able to answer based on our conversations today. And the third question is, what is one regulation or one habit you start this week? Because it's one thing for us to know, but it's also another thing for us to act. So what are you going to start doing to deal with that stress, whether it is acute or chronic? What will you start doing to start moving towards a healthy lifestyle? And finally, I would want to say that I had even forgotten this, but I remembered that I have written an ebook. I have an ebook which is called Stress Free Living. And it is only $10 only. So if you would want, you can DM me and I can send you the link where you can buy the at $10 only. It's called Stress Free Living. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that this information that we have shared today with Debbie is going to go a long way in changing somebody's life. Have yourself a good day, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. Thank you so much. I give it back to you, Queen Debbie.
you so much, my queen, and thank you for your closing remarks. And community, we are living in a world which has full of things, full of unforeseen things that can just arise from nowhere. We need to understand that, and we need to deal with it with with caution. We need to approach things with caution, and because we are human beings, we are going to bump into things. So how do you deal with it? Some of the things, they are coming to just distract you, some to come to destroy you. So just know how to deal with it. How you handle it is the most important thing. How do you handle it? So how you handle stress is the most important thing. So with that, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all, and to remind you that tomorrow is a Saturday. We are going to have our Twitter space with our king, developer King Steve. We're going to have our Twitter space. And those who haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel, and make sure those who haven't engaged also with our tweets, they are all out. Let's engage with them. Let's comment, share, or like. Let's just do our day-to-day norm. These are our rituals as Bullrun community. So with that, I just want to thank you so much. I know my mom, Queen Mother Caroline, is here. Mom, I also want to thank you so much for attending. I know I'm not able to see your comment, but I want to appreciate you for coming also in our session. Thank you so much, Queen Mother. And with that, community, I also want to appreciate each and individual of you for participating today. Thank you so much. Until we meet again next week, it's bye-bye for now. Let's not forget, tomorrow we have a Twitter session. So it's a bye-bye for now. From my side, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.